Ready?
Yes.
Shuffles out.
I'm shuffled out.
Shame. Hi, kids.
Oh, a crackle in that one.
I know, Tom. I've got the worst hay fever today ever. Not only, guys, is it ridiculously hot in the UK, like one day of heat that we all long for and wish for throughout the year, and then when it comes, we are insufferable with it. Not only is it hot, the pollen levels are just ridiculous. I put my makeup on today and it melted, and then I managed to sneeze and snot it all off anyway, so...
Oh, yuck.
I knew that would trigger Tom.
Oh, gross. If I saw that, I'd probably chun.
Do you know what the worst thing is that I was travelling up to London, so I had my makeup falling off my face, my eyes were watering, so there was mascara everywhere, and I was non-stop sneezing and coughing
in your mask,
in my mask. And at one point I went to take my mask off and I stopped myself because I could feel this snot, and I was like, I need to get it off my face, but if I pull my mask off, is there going to be a long line of snot from my mask to my nose? And I was like, you know what? It's not worth the embarrassment on this train up to London. I'm just going to use my mask as a handkerchief. So I just kind of grabbed it and wiped my nose with it. But it's just, I'm still sat in my mask with a load of snot just everywhere. Oh, it was gross.
Delightful.
That's my day. How's your day?
Sounds like a great day. My day's been fine. I saw family. Well, I saw my godparents, and they're technically family.
Yeah.
Technically not family.
Honorary family.
Honorary family, exactly. They're great people. I love them to death. But it's a weird one when they're your friends' parents. Your friends' parents? Your parents' friends is how I meant to say it. They're my parents' friends. And because they're close friends, they're like, oh, do you want to be Tom's godparents?
Yeah.
And you don't really know what to say. I struggle talking to adults, whether it be someone's mum that I've known my whole life, my godparents that I've known my whole life, your mother. I would find it really awkward to hold a 15-minute conversation.
15?
Well, I had to spend the whole day with them.
Yeah.
But I would struggle with 15 minutes alone.
Yeah, it's quite intense, isn't it? I think if there's some alcohol involved, I think it gets a bit better.
There is not.
Ah.
There was not.
Ah.
So there's only so many times you can go, God, it's hot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really hot.
I was not expecting that.
Sneeze all over.
Gosh. Anyone want to start a real conversation? No? Ooh, it's warm today, isn't it?
Oh, so
God.
awkward.
So yeah, it was incredibly awkward. But they're lovely people, and if you're listening, hey.
Hey, no hard feelings.
Checking us out. Hey. But yeah, I'm fine. It was really nice to see them. I hadn't seen them in about a year and a half because Roan. So I hadn't seen them, and it was lovely to see them.
That also doesn't help with coronavirus. I still feel like my social skills are lacking.
Yes.
I went to Clapham Common this weekend. If you are mine and Tom's age, you will probably have friends that live in Clapham, and you might also go to the Common. It's actually filled with people that have just graduated from university. Essentially, that's the new place to be. It's very nice, and everyone kind of knows everyone, and that I had friends here, friends there, and I was in groups. And then this one guy who I hadn't seen in ages came up to us and was like, "Oh, I'm with a group. Come and say hey." And I was like, "How?" Vetting these groups out. How many people is this group? And he was like, oh, 30 of us. And I was like, absolutely not. I am not ready for that yet. I've just about mastered a group of 6. I can't be up with groups of 30. I'm not ready. I'm not quite there yet, Tom. So I completely understand the social dilemmas at the moment.
But you ready to go clubbing when stuff reopens, possibly on the 21st?
Well, we'll see, won't we? I mean, when this episode comes out in the UK, we will know. So essentially, if you're not from the UK or you're just not keeping up with it, I don't blame you. It's rather dull. We've got one more regulation which is apparently going to be restricted, or was meant to be restricted, on the 21st of June, and it's our last little point of this Boris's roadmap out of lockdown. And essentially you can go clubbing again, you can meet up with unlimited people, big events can happen again. It's very exciting for 20-year-olds because we can go clubbing again, it's fun. But tomorrow they're going to announce that well, we have speculations that they're going to announce that it's going to be pushed back for 4 weeks. So potentially no clubbing until August. We will see.
How does that make you feel? Are you excited to go back clubbing, or are you like, I don't want to be in a big sweaty environment like that?
So I'm really keen to go clubbing, but I'm not really a massive clubbing person. I think it's just because, you know, it's like, oh, you can't have it, so you want it.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. I think the first time going clubbing again will be really exciting and like a great night that I'll remember forever.
Will you go day one?
So I actually do have a club book. So the restrictions are meant to be lifted on the 21st of June, and I have a club night booked on the 25th of June, which is the first Friday that we're allowed to go clubbing. So yeah, I did, and I am really looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to, like, I guess the, like, atmosphere. That's what I think I've missed most, like, that really excited atmosphere, like, before you go, when you're at an event like a concert. You don't get that atmosphere anywhere else. It's really at those places where everyone's just on a high, and I miss that. You don't get that just at the pub. Like, there is a high and there's an atmosphere, but it's, I guess, clubbing and big concerts, it's like that next heightened state of high. So yeah, I am looking forward to it, and I do think I will, because why not? If it's allowed,
I don't think I'd want to go day one.
No? Well, day one will be the Monday. Do you know what? I actually have friends.
I don't think I'd want to go that first weekend. I think I'd be awful.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be busy, but I feel like it's going to be like
rammed.
It's going to be like our generation's version of D-Day. Or what was it? V-Day. V-Day.
Very much disagree.
Victory Day.
Very much disagree. I think it would be awful. Like, I'm not a big clubber as is.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to be back in a hot, sweaty club. But day one especially, where everyone and their nan's there, no.
Excuse me.
Wow, that's how much you liked my story.
Rona.
Disgusting behaviour.
I've actually got friends that have booked
Lie.
I've got friends, big news.
Lie.
I've got friends that have booked off the whole week, and they're calling it like the new Freshers Week. So they've booked off the Monday, which is the 21st, till the 27th, which is the Sunday, and they've got like events or bars or like clubs booked from Monday through to Sunday, and it's like their reincarnated Freshers Week. People
That's
taking
gross.
this seriously. I was gonna swear.
Yeah.
Insert swear.
Nice. Thank you for not. But
Yeah.
That's too much. Too much.
Anyway.
But Anya, this week you'll be proud of me.
Oh yeah.
I said no twice.
To meeting up with people.
Well, one to meeting up and one to extra work.
Well,
I said no.
done, Tom.
I said no to everyone. So you know we do these Thursday drinks.
Yes, just say that.
So you know we do these Thursday drinks
at your work, yeah.
At my work. So most of the people I work with finish on a Thursday, and on Friday they work from home, so they can get drunk and do whatever they want. And so Thursday is like their Friday. So we always go out on a Thursday and get absolutely drunk, blah, 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 blah. And then I come into work on Friday and go, oh, nothing but regrets. Nothing but regrets. And on Thursday, one of the boys turned to me and said, pub after work? And I went, no, I don't think I will. No.
You did it,
and
Tom.
It was a great feeling, and I wasn't hungover on Friday, and it was amazing.
There we go. The power of saying no. See, this is an episode that we did.
It was amazing.
How to avoid FOMO, I think.
Exactly. How to avoid FOMO.
Help, I've got FOMO. That was the title of it a couple episodes ago. And you did it, Tom.
And I did it. I've still got another event this weekend that I don't want to go to. But this guy keeps telling me, Tom, we should go for drinks, we should go for drinks, we should go for drinks. And I've been like, yeah, man, anytime. Just tell me when and where. Oh, no, not that weekend. Oh. So I've been playing this big game. I've been playing this big game. And now it's actually, fun story, you know the guy in that episode who I just said, send me the deets.
Yeah,
this is him again.
Oh, wow.
This is him again.
So he's picked it up again. But you
Yeah.
never know, on his end, he might just be doing it to, like, as a reply. Do you know what I mean? Like a courtesy reply, like, oh, I haven't forgotten. I still do want to meet up.
Invite. To my work account, he sent me a calendar invite. Don't do that, ever. Don't ever do that.
Strange breed of person.
So now I'm going. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go, but I've got plans on Sunday, so I can't stay out too late.
Stop giving excuses. Just say no, Tom.
Well, I really can't say no.
I mean, you
he's
can.
going to try and try and try, and I see him and I work with him every day, Monday to Friday. I work with him. I think it would be incredibly rude and incredibly uncomfortable for everyone involved if I go, do you know what, pal? I don't want to go for drinks with you.
Yeah, a bit awkward.
So I think just bite the bullet, go for a couple of hours on Saturday, be done for the year.
Yes. Good luck.
That's
with
my
that
game
one.
plan. And it's not going to last too long because I've got all these plans on Sunday that I need to be up early for.
Such a busy boy.
So I don't have any plans on Sunday, but he doesn't need to know that.
Oh, right, okay. Big excuses.
He doesn't need to know that. I just don't want to be there.
Oh, Tom.
But, yes. That's the ish. That is the ish.
Nice.
But
Thanks
Anya,
for the update.
my pleasure, anything for you. Every week, we play this game called I'm an Adult But, where we pick out a part of our week or month or however long it was, and we go, this here wasn't very adulty. This here isn't what an adult would do.
Yes.
And we share that with the team.
Yes, we
share
do.
it with the Tune Squadders.
And the kids.
And
yeah.
what's yours for this week?
So mine this week is I pushed a stranger.
Oh, nice. Did they deserve it?
So I think they did, but I still don't.
Okay.
I don't think that was the right reaction to have. But you know, my mum always says 2 wrongs don't make a right, and I've grown up with that saying. So I feel like, I always say this, at the grand age of 24, I should really know better. But it just really got on my nerves. So I was like, do you know what? No.
Oh, it was intentional.
Yeah, properly shoved him. So the reason is I was walking along South Bank in London, which is like a big stretch of, I guess, like a walkway that goes down the South Bank next to the River Thames. And there was this couple walking in front of me. The girl had a juice carton that she was drinking from. Oh, and they were like maybe late teens, early 20s, like I'd say about our age. Couldn't really gauge like the exact age, but they were like around our age. She was having a drink out of a juice carton. He had a plastic bag, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I wasn't paying much attention to him. I was just walking there in front of me. I just saw it out the corner of my eye, like it fly over the side into the River Thames. And I was like, did I see that right? Did he
Disgusting
intentionally?
behaviour.
Did he intentionally throw that, or did he? Because he was kind of like, you know, when you walk along, you're kind of like swinging a bag like this. He was kind of doing that. And I was like, did it maybe fall out of his hand? Because it wasn't a bag for life, so it wasn't like a heavy plastic bag. It was like one of those old, proper plastic thin bags. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That must have just flown out of his hands. Who does that anymore? And then I saw the girl, because I was watching them, trying to figure it out. The girl intentionally threw her carton over the wall into the River Thames. And I was like, mad scenes. What the hell? What the hell? It really upset me and triggered me. And I was like, I mean, it's almost like I saw someone pushing a human over into the River Thames. Like, that was my reaction. I was flabbergasted. But who does that anymore? Who litters? The most maddening thing is that if they carried on walking a bit further, which they did obviously because they were walking in that direction, they passed a bin in a meter. I was like, are you kidding me? So I plucked up the courage after like a minute of composing myself, still walking behind them, like trying to figure out what to do. And I said, excuse me. And they turned around. I was like, what have I just done? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, did you just throw your litter into the River Thames? And they were like, yeah. And then I was like, what is wrong with you? There is literally a bin right there. Like, where have you been these past years? Like, do you not care about the environment? Blah, 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 blah.
Doing your civic duty.
Exactly. And then this guy, because I was mostly talking to the girl because I saw her throw the carton into the River Thames. So I was kind of like confronting her. And then he gets all like, and like he doesn't push me, but he kind of like elbow shoves me like back off. And I was like, no, shove. Don't push me. Bearing in mind he's like 6 foot something, quite like a chunky guy, and I'm little 5'3".
5 foot nothing.
Don't throw plastic into the River Thames. There's no Planet B. And then all these people
Good
like,
for
this
you.
is central London, and I'm like being shoved by a 6'5" whatever, not 6'5", that is. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So I give him like a little shove back, like back off, and then they were like, and I was like, who do you think you are? Like, you should be going down and getting that rubbish. I absolutely, and then they start walking around. I was like, I absolutely cannot believe you. Like, there's a bin right there. You should be ashamed. And I was like shouting at them in central London. I was just absolutely
Good for you. I'm impressed.
Outraged. I know.
Were you drunk?
I wasn't. I was stone cold sober. I mean, it did take me a minute to say excuse me. I think if I was drunk,
Were you on your own?
Yeah, I was on my own. But like,
That's
you can't get away with that anymore. You just can't. I'm sorry, especially when there's bins everywhere. And how many times do you hear on the news? Not even on the news, but like social media. There's so many campaigns. Like, so many influencers even talk about it, like about saving the planet and, you know, good causes and recycling. Like, we are the generation that has grown up with this, and you think it's okay to throw? No, I was not having it. Nah. So yeah, that probably wasn't the right reaction, but you know, just like in the heat of the moment where you're just like, oh.
But he looked like he was going to fight you, so self-defense. Yeah,
basically. I mean, I wouldn't suggest pushing anybody.
No, we do not advise it, but
no, but you know, I was, you know, trying to protect myself and tell him off because he was wrong.
Well, good for you for standing up to them.
Thanks.
Because no change will happen if you don't stand up to these people.
Exactly, they would just continue doing it. And if they think that, you know, a little yappy girl's going to come up to them every single time they throw their carton through the Thames, even if they're doing it for that reason, that's better than continuing to do it. I mean, I wish they would do it for better reasons, like saving the environment, but...
Yeah. So my I'm an adult but for this week, you'll like this one, Anya. So headphones in, I've got those little AirPods, so they're in my ears, wireless. Running for a train. Run like a track star, apparently. Run like I don't. I have a hilarious run. Never watch me run. And I make onto the train like, yeah, celebrating. Walking like, kind of out of breath because I don't do any form of cardio. So I'm kind of out of breath, moving my head a little bit. Headphone falls out. No. I don't realise. Punt it across because mid-step. And my headphone falls out. I kick it mid-step and it just shoots down the other end of the train. So I don't know if you know the Met Line. The Metropolitan Line's a very popular train line in London. And how they're made is just like one big tube. So you can walk from the one end all the way to the other end with no like dividers. And my headphone fell out and I just punted it straight down the other end of the train. And everyone just watched it.
Like an ice hockey puck. Except
there's me going, and now my headphone sounds weird when I'm on a phone. Cool.
Did you have any like nice music playing out of it, like the tinny little music that everyone can hear? What
no, because as soon as it comes out of your ear, it pauses your music.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I'm not swanky enough to have headphones like that, so...
Some people are. Some of us are cool enough to have
Some
AirPods.
of you guys are privileged enough.
But clearly I shouldn't be because I punted it all the way down the other end of the train.
No respect for your belongings.
Slowly. I thought someone was going to pick it up and say, oh, here you go, but it's mid-Rona still. So they can't really touch anything that's yours and then hand it to you because then
I think
everyone
some
has to
people
clean
would.
their hands.
I mean, I would.
But I was just like, oh, what a start to my day. Running for a train when it's hot as is. Accidentally booting my headphone down the other end of the train.
Doing the walk of the shame all the way up.
Yeah, and also short-sighted. So as soon as it's like gone out of X amount in front of me, I'm like, where is it?
Looking under everyone's feet. Oh, sorry, yeah, just
so I'm like, me. And then I'm like, I know it's that way. Luckily it didn't hit anyone. Imagine if that just smacked you in the cheek.
Oh yeah, not the one.
But I'm so sorry, it wasn't in purpose.
Worse, I think still, is somebody not realising, like, if they have their back to you or don't know it's on the floor and walk on it. Because I'm not looking out for AirPods when I walk across.
Always look out for my AirPods that I've booted down the train. Always.
Always keep an eye on the platform at all times.
That's what they say. They say, please be aware of closing doors. Please mind the gap and please mind Tom's headphones that may be on the floor. It's what they say on every London train.
Yeah,
just on the off chance that I booted down the end.
Yeah, no, I know.
Wear your mask, look for Tom's headphones.
It's a real problem.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And wash hands.
Yeah. You know when you try to catch something and you for some reason you try to use your foot? Have you done that?
No.
You drop something, you go, and you try to use your foot as like almost like to kick it back up to you.
I can't say I've done that, no, but I'm not.
No,
I'm going to put on player, so
I'm going to put it on a poll and see if, when you drop something, do you instinctively try to use your feet to catch it or like soften the blow on the floor or anything? Because I do.
Mm-hmm.
But this wasn't the case. This was me mid-walk, headphone falls out, foot comes along, pew!
Boot it.
And then I was like, no, they were expensive. So I'm an adult, but I shouldn't ever have expensive things.
I mean, it happens to the best of us. I once
not.
had a problem with Apple headphones that are on a wire, so they're not as spinny. But I closed the front door, and as I closed the front door, my headphone was in mid-swing in my hand, and I crushed it in the door, and it was a sad day. So you're paying
Still
for
expensive.
headphones. Still expensive.
Still,
an L to my bank account. So.
Still an L. Yeah. And then you just buy the cheapo headphones because you're not going to spend those ones.
Ruined it for myself. Can't have nice things around here.
No. But Anya.
Yes, Tom.
Last week, we
Tom.
finished on a cliffhanger.
Yes, Tom. We did.
Yes, Tom.
Yes, Tom. We did.
Yes.
Finish on a cliffhanger.
Let's go, Tom.
And if you don't know what the cliffhanger is, then you should really go back and listen to last week's episode, which was how to handle a bad day, because you won't really understand the premise of this story unless you've listened to that. So go back and listen to it and then come back.
So this is a part 2.
This is a part 2. Okay, so my story is obviously off of the back of a bad day, but this episode in particular is about how to handle like arguments. But obviously this is a recent bad day of mine that was centered around an argument, and that's why it's relevant still. So as much as this is going to sound annoying, I don't think I can go into all of the juicy details.
Oh, what?
Because, but I can go into like the main parts of it. I'm not going to name names because that's just going to make it
No, you don't have to name
worse.
names, but you can tell most of the story if you just don't name the names.
Most of the story, but I also don't want to be disrespectful and add fuel to the fire.
Petrol?
Or petrol, yeah, that is a type of fuel.
Anything, actually.
Anything. I don't want to add anything more, but I do.
So is this an ongoing feud?
Yeah, like it hasn't been resolved. It's still going on. Okay.
Drams.
So, trying not to be disrespectful and trying to kind of stay around the peripheral edge of this, because it is my story to tell, but also I don't really want to get involved with it, so I'm just kind of like staying out of it. God, this is really like hyping up, isn't it? Tom's like on the edge of
Should I get some popcorn? Just sit here.
It's a great story.
Turn my mic off. I'll be fine.
I wish I could tell you guys the full story, but I just do think it would be highly disrespectful of me. And we're all trying to adult around him, trying to be a good person. Okay. So the main thing is that somebody in my family recently died. You can work that out for yourselves. If you listen to previous episodes, you'll probably know who it is. Anyway, this person dies in my family. And there's a whole like hullabaloo around the death. A lot of information came out about this person after they died, about their marital affairs that no one knew about, and it caused a lot of tension.
Understandably.
And essentially it ended up with my family being uninvited to the wake at the funeral. And this person's a blood relative, so it's not even like, you're a friend of a friend of a friend and they don't want you at the funeral, so like boot out. This is like a big deal, not invited to the wake. So major drama llama, huge scenes, and a lot of tension, and that's my bad day, because it was a bad day, and it's still kind of like continuing, and it's unresolved. At the actual funeral, the people that we fell out with, we didn't exchange a hello, we didn't exchange a goodbye, there was nothing said. We literally walked out of the crematorium, they went left, we went right, and that was it, and we weren't invited to the wake. And I've never had a situation like that where an argument has gotten so bad that you can't even be civil at a funeral. Well, like, obviously civil in the sense of like there was no argument, like no bad words were said. It was a very respectful argument, but at the same time, like, you think that you would be mutual enough to like say hello and goodbye. But no, like,
Yeah.
it was still so high in tension that, like, it was better for the whole situation for, like, not even to, like, give eye contact. Mad.
That's wild.
And you think at, like, this age, we're all adults, by the way, at this funeral. There are no kids there. Everyone's above the age of... The youngest person there was 20. Everyone's above that age.
Okay.
Like, proper...
So everyone's relatively old.
grown up. You know, you think at... you think at this age, you know, people would be able to, like, I guess, handle their emotions. But maybe, you know, it's not even about handling emotions in that sense, but I don't know, like, be able to, like, suck it up. But I think that it's kind of like a great example of, you might be a grown-up, but things can still really emotionally affect you enough to, like, not be able to handle a situation that you think you might be able to handle. But when it actually happens...
Do you think they've got their podcast and they said, I'm an adult, but I did invite Anya's family to the wake?
So the mad thing is that without going into too much detail, being very vague about who these people are, but I don't think it makes much of a difference to saying this. These people are in their 70s. You think?
Come on, you're grown at that age.
Grown
Don't
up.
be petty.
Grown up. And then there's, like, and everyone else in this argument, the eldest person underneath that is 53. And then there's, like, 30. And then there's us 20-year-olds. We're at the bottom. So that's why I'm kind of staying out of it, because it's not really... I'm, like, a generation removed from it. But I'm still very much involved in it. So you think, like, the people that we're arguing against are in their 70s. You would be kind of old enough and wise enough to know better and to just... leave no bad blood, but there is very much still bad blood going on. So yeah, bad day, but it gets us very nicely on to the topic of the podcast, which is arguments and whether to, like, how to handle an argument, and, like, should you leave things unresolved, and, you know, like, why do we argue, like, why does that even happen?
What? Is this a question?
I mean, it can be if you want to answer it. Yeah.
Okay. Why do I think I argue?
Yeah.
I think it's because I'm passionate about things.
Yeah?
And when I'm passionate, emotions run high.
Definitely. I think...
and that's why I argue.
Passion also comes hand in hand. When you're passionate about something, you're very stubborn about it. Like, your views are very much set in it. You're very passionate about it. You're passionate about it because you believe in it. And those are, like, your morals and your views and your opinions, and you're passionate about those opinions because you believe in them.
You're passionate about keeping the planet safe and not throwing your bleep into the River Thames.
And because I'm very passionate about that, I'm also very stubborn. So if somebody comes along to tell me otherwise, you're very passionate, but you're also very stubborn. And I think passion is often thought of as a really positive thing, but I think stubbornness comes off the back of passion, and that's obviously thought of as a negative thing. And I don't necessarily think it's bad to be stubborn, because obviously it means that you have a very strong opinion about things, but it also means I'm a very stubborn person. But it also means you have, like, you don't want to compromise, and you're not very good at, like, giving that wiggle room to allow other people in. I fully am aware of my stubbornness and how annoying it must be to other people. And I even say to people, like, with this ongoing house hunt of mine, I am sorry that I am being so stubborn about the fact that I want a desk space in my room, but I'm not willing to compromise. I know that's annoying for you, but I'm putting my foot down.
That's something different. That's not being stubborn. That's you having a criteria to hit. But
that's also...
That's like me saying, I would like a mocha, Costa. I'd like a mocha, make it a medium. And they go, can I give you a cappuccino? Me being stubborn saying, no, I want a mocha isn't stubbornness.
Yeah, it is.
That's the criteria. Yes, no, it's not.
Okay, fine. Then how about me being stubborn, about, again, like, the environment thing, and me not being able to let that go without having an argument?
A stubborn thing would be me saying, hey, Anya, can we record Saturday at 1?
Yeah.
And you say, yeah. And then I go, hey, Anya, actually, can we push it back an hour to 2? And you go, no, Tom, we can't. We made a plan. Stick to it.
Yeah. If I had nothing
That's
on
stubborn.
Still. Yeah. No,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. But yeah, maybe I'm just really passionate about my Sunday afternoons and don't want you eating up into it, you know?
I get that. I don't blame you.
Exactly.
Who wants to see me later on in the day?
So
nip me in the bud and then carry on.
as much as I understand that passion and being stubborn about something can be annoying, I also do think that it's a good thing to have, because otherwise we'd all be like wet flannels without a spine and just going yes to everyone, and then nothing would really happen. Everyone would just be compromising, and we say it time and time again, you're only living for yourself, like you're not living for anyone else. So be stubborn and be passionate, and those are great things. But it's interesting when it comes to arguments, because arguments are always such a negative thing, and like, why does it happen then? If those are great traits to have, like, why do we argue?
Yeah, I think it's because you have your set of rules and someone else has their set of rules. You're not always going to see eye to eye, and then you argue.
And that's exactly it. So a lot of the causes of arguments is that the other person has a lack of mutual empathetic understanding. So it's when you're unable to like understand what that other person is so passionate about, because you're really passionate about the Tune Squatters.
Yeah.
And I'm not so passionate about...
You don't respect the Tune Squatters?
I mean, I respect the Tune Squatters, but I don't respect how the Tune Squatters name has come about. You see? This has always been an argument, because I want to call the kids, because it makes sense to the podcast, but you want to call them Tune Squatters because that's your favourite film. Well, it's come from your favourite film.
Because they're part of the team.
Yeah, but it's not come from my favourite film, so it has no link to me, and
What's
I don't
your favourite
understand
film?
how it links to the kids.
What's your favourite film? Space Jam 2. It's not out yet, Anya, but I agree. It's going to be a good film. But
I'm sure it'll be a great film. But do you see what I mean? Like, that's where the argument comes from. It's when you're unable to have empathy towards someone else's situation. And
100%.
if I went to you, do you know what, Tom? I really understand it now. I get it. It would diffuse the situation, wouldn't it? Like, it just kind of.
I think we should diffuse right now.
It releases
right now.
tension.
So we're going to call them the Tune Squad.
No, because then they are, but only because you randomly started calling them the Tune Squad. But it makes no sense really to the podcast. But
if anyone can find the episode of where I start it,
it's been going on for series and series.
It has been.
So,
but
it's kind of stuck
I want
now.
to say midway through season 1. So if you can find the exact episode that I start calling you Tune Squatters, send it to me at We Are AudioBox on Twitter and on Instagram, the same handle for both. Tell me where it is. Tell me what's up. Also say hi to me. I'm very lonely these days. Like, hey, what's up, Tom? I too am not going to go clubbing straight away. But Anya, what is your favourite film?
My favourite film? I don't really have a favourite film.
Space Chimps.
Space Chimps.
Good choice.
Clearly.
Good choice.
No, I've only got a favourite series, which is Friends, which I talk about all the time.
Weak.
And I don't start the podcast off by saying how you doing to all of the kids. That'd be odd. That would be
ridiculous.
Uncomfortable.
Well, how are you doing is meant to be him grafting.
Yeah, exactly. It's why I backtracked very quickly on that.
Why are you grafting on the kids, Anya? You creep. And that's why we don't call them kids. Because I don't want to look like a creepo.
Okay, whatever. This is an argument that is going to be left unresolved. Tom, have you ever left an argument unresolved? And / would you? Because obviously this argument that I've been dragged into...
Yeah.
It's not really my argument, but it is my argument, and it's been left unresolved, and it's just still how it is. Nobody's said anything since the funeral. It's just kind of how it is. Like, would you leave an argument unresolved?
Well, I'm very placid. I'm very placid, so I would probably just allow something to happen. But I'm also not very confrontational with people, so I don't have arguments that often. So, like, me and my friends, we don't...
Are you not very passionate about things?
Well, probably a bit of both, to be honest. Yeah, we don't really talk about things that would cause a rift. I don't know if it's a guy thing or not, but yeah, I just have silly goose time with my boys, so that nothing really comes up with an argument. The biggest argument will be, are we doing shots, yes or no? Some of them are like, absolutely, let's get some baby Guinnesses in, and some will say, absolutely not, let's just stick with beers. That's where the divide happens, and you always end up doing shots. But when you're in a relationship, I think that's where the arguments start to happen. I say that like I have arguments every day. We don't. We're pretty good 95% of the time.
Yeah.
But I think with a relationship, because you've got your set of morals and they're someone else,
Yeah.
And they have their set of morals, not just the fact that they're someone else. They're someone else, and you have your morals. That you both have your own sets of standards, and then because you're both passionate, you both love each other, and you both want this to work. You might see your way as this is how it should work, and they're seeing it as their way as this is how it should work. Then you butt heads.
Yeah.
And me and my girlfriend, we always talk it through.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
We always talk it through, because I can't sleep, to be honest.
That's exactly the same as me.
If we've had an argument, I'm just going to be up. She's normally very good at just falling asleep, but I'll just be up and I'll be like, this is all I can think about.
Yeah.
I have to wait until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning to bring this up and be like, let's nip this in the bud now. And I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd be racking my brains, just telling it over and over and again. I'm like, can I see it from their perspective? And like, not really.
That's
because
good that you try,
I'm stubborn.
But
because I'm stubborn, I only see it. Yeah, but you can't really.
No, I mean,
it's like if I said yellow was blue to you.
Yeah.
Like, you're looking at me and I'm wearing a shirt with blue sleeves.
Yeah.
If I said, Anya, this is actually yellow sleeves, you could try and imagine it, but you physically can't.
Yeah.
So I'm in bed at, let's say, 2 a.m. going, why can't she see where I'm coming from? And because of that, I'm just now up 7 a.m. going, is she up yet to reply to my message and be like, this is what's happening?
Yeah.
It's
tough.
That is the worst. That's where I have my arguments. So I like to, if there's a rift, ring straight away and be like, what is the dealio? Let's talk it through.
The dealio is that you say dealio.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't like that. You're not wrong.
Triggered. I agree with you. I also think that whether you leave an argument resolved or unresolved depends on the person that you're arguing with. So obviously when you're arguing with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever you're with, as in your partner, it's difficult to leave an argument unresolved because you care about that person so much and you care about what you have together. You care about that relationship and maintaining it and nurturing it. So it's difficult to leave an argument like that unresolved because obviously you want to fix the relationship and move on with it. But like, I guess in the situation that I've been in with my bad day and that big argument, when you don't like that person and you don't see a place with them in your future and you're kind of like giving up with them, then it's kind of like it can be left unresolved, and that's the same with a lot.
Just wash your hands with them.
Exactly,
it's a
done, like whatever. And I know that a lot of people would want closure over that. And we've just done an episode over closure, on closure. But like, I guess that's the same with a lot of relationships. Like when you break up, it's because you argue, butt heads all the time, can't meet a resolution. So then you just part ways. It's like you're obviously not. If you're going to continue to argue over the same thing and can't like make it work and patch it together, then I guess some situations can be left unresolved. But I'm exactly the same with you. When I argue with my boyfriend, it's like, we have to make this good before I go to bed, because otherwise, speak of the devil.
Otherwise, I'll leave my phone on and loud during the podcast recording. They will know.
Otherwise, I'm not going to get any sleep, and you know that's just adding something to the argument that is just very unnecessary. Like, why are we losing sleep over this? So, yes, definitely agree with you on that one.
Do you stop replying if you're in an argument?
I think it depends. Like,
so you go, I just can't talk to you right now, and then cold shoulder it.
Yeah.
So you do go through your period of, I just can't talk to you right now, anger.
Yeah.
Instead of, I need to solve this right now.
Well, I like to solve situations then and there, but it depends. Yeah. Like, if we're having an argument and it's over text, I think it's very hard to have an argument. And it's like, he
That's why you ring.
But he doesn't like sorting out arguments over the phone. And it's like, when you're an hour away from each other, because we live an hour away from each other, you have to wait to meet up with that person. So I'll be texting him like, pick up the phone, we need to talk about this, and he just won't answer the phone. Or he'll answer the phone and say, I'm not having this conversation right now, and put down the phone. What? It's so annoying. And then that annoys you even more. So I just like completely blank him for like a week, and then he'll text me like, I'm so sorry, let's meet up and talk about this. I'm like, well, we could have resolved this a week ago. It's gotten better, but I remember that like at the start of our relationship. But that's how relationships, there are very few relationships where you don't argue. Like, again, like you said, with your friends, you don't really go deep enough. Like, you're kind of a lot of the time surface level. You don't really have to learn about people's morals, or like when you do learn about people's morals, you don't have to compromise your morals for them because they're just your friends. You're very welcome to have two different sets of morals and like be in a relationship with that person on a friendship level. But when it's with your partner and you're going to live with that person forever and share your life together, like a partner, you're a pair of people that live together forever in the sense, you do have to kind of like match morals, or if not match morals, understand where each other's morals come from. And I think that's where the arguments then lead to. So it's very, very natural, normal for people to have arguments, but I do think you go through a stage of learning how the other person deals with an argument. And that like first year or so of like learning how people react to certain situations in arguments and how people deal with arguments is really tough. And I do think you go through like a whole evolution in relationships where you start off, you learn about it, you have some more experiences about it, it evolves, and then like you can now, say like 3 years down the line, detect the early warning signs of an argument to be able to like nip it in the bud quicker, or like
do you think you
know
can?
how to react to it. Oh, 100%. Like today, for example, me and Alex, my boyfriend, we were walking around London doing some house viewings, and
Nice.
I hadn't had breakfast yet, and I was like, let's go on a cute little date, and we can it's at 12 o'clock, by the way, it's midday, and I haven't eaten anything, and it's
And
really
Anya gets
hot,
hangry.
and I get hangry, and he knows that, and I was like, look, we need food now because otherwise things are gonna get nasty. And he's like, okay, sugar, we need to find her some food. And he's like, okay, look, there's a prep right there, let's go and get like a coffee or something. And I'm like, no, let's make it a cute little date, like it's a Sunday, it's not like a, you know, quick like bite to eat, like we've got all day, let's go and find somewhere cute. And like we have this argument a lot because he's still a student, he's doing his master's, so he doesn't have an income, but I'm working and like I'm earning money, so I want to be able to use that money and spend that money because I'm earning that money, so I want to use the money that I'm earning. That's why I'm working, to go and treat myself. But then the argument evolves and he doesn't want me paying for everything all the time, but
because it's emasculating, I get it.
But it shouldn't be, because 21st century, anyway, this is, you can hear
Well, it's
in your
still
head.
a pride thing. I'm sure we're not dating, but I'm sure if every time we went for meetings and I bought you food or you bought me food, however way it goes, you'd be like, this isn't a balance. This isn't relationship. So I get it. I completely back that.
Yeah. But you can hear in your head, you can understand where this argument is going. You like, and we know exactly, me and him, we know exactly where this is heading. This is heading for a full scale argument because I haven't eaten anything. And he says, and this is like, he knows that this is going to trigger me, but he says it to push my buttons. He says, why does your stomach always have to dictate our day? And I looked at him.
That was bold.
And
that was bold.
I said, did you say that to get a reaction? And he was like, you're just annoying me. And I was like, do you mean what you said?
He stood his ground. Like, I respect it.
Yeah, but he agreed that he said it just to get a reaction. And I was like, did you mean that? Does that have meaning behind it? And he was like, I don't really mean it, I just said it to get a reaction. And I was like, can we not do this right now? Can we just be friends? And he was like, fine, we're friends. And like, I think that you get to a stage in your relationship where it's like, you don't rise to each other anymore. It's kind of just, you look each other in the eye and go, why are we doing this? This is so stupid. That's how my arguments go nowadays. Well, 99% of the time.
It's normally the other way around for me. It's me going,
I'm hungry.
it's me saying, making a joke, possibly at her extent, and then me going, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. Because I know these jokes get a rise out of her, and I still go, maybe this time it won't.
Why is it a boy thing? Is it like the immaturity
I don't know. I think
you guys coming out and going, oh, let me see if, let's push this button today.
Well, I don't know. I think for me, there's an obvious joke that I can make, so I'll make it. And then the obvious joke for her that I make is the most annoying one that she doesn't want to read right now. And I go, Then like 5 hours later, go, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It's always the case.
See?
Always the case.
You know, it's like a creature of habit now.
But when I was saying it, I wasn't expecting a rise. It was just like, oh, this is a funny joke to make. And then when she doesn't reply for 5 hours, I go, oh, she wouldn't like that.
Well, at least you know, even if it is 5 hours after you make the joke.
Yeah, it doesn't ease with time.
It might do. Maybe in 3 more years it will go down to 2 hours, and then you'll realise instead of 5 hours.
Well, I can only tell because she hasn't replied. She also doesn't reply to texts very regularly.
Right.
So I can't tell if she's in a mood or if she's just not by her phone.
Yeah. But if you were first going out, you'd think that it was her in a mood for not replying to you. Because if someone's not replying to you, you instantly get
well, I still think that now. I still think that now, and I'll ring her. And she'll say, sorry, I haven't been on my phone. Did you send me a message? I go...
You look like a proper Kino.
That's the issue. That's probably one of our biggest fights is me making a bad joke, me realising I made a bad joke that's going to offend her. She hasn't read the bad joke. Me ringing her about the bad joke. She then reads the joke whilst we're on the phone. Mm-hmm. Then we have an argument. Go, why do you keep saying this joke? And I go, I don't know. So that's the issue.
But you know so I'm annoyed that she. You can perceive the issue, so you know it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think relationships should go through a journey. So
my issue with her is the issue that she has with me. No, my issue that I have with her is causational because of what she doesn't do. Is that right?
Sort of, yes.
Sure, let's go with that. But
are you saying she's the problem? Exactly.
Yeah, essentially, what I'm saying here is I'm great, and she's got to fix up. Mm-hmm. She's got to shape up. Ooh, because I need a man.
Really? Wow.
Am I
fascinating?
The rest of the word. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I haven't seen Grease recently.
That's okay, Tom. We'll forgive you. I've got here 6 affirmations that are meant to help you let go of an argument, because sometimes.
What's an affirmation?
An affirmation is something that you say to yourself in order to believe something or like comprehend something a bit easier. So you say it like internally to you. So it's almost like you becoming more self-aware. So instead of you pointing and going, you're the problem, it's being able to step back and go, look inward and go, maybe I'm the problem. And by saying these affirmations, like sentences to give you more of a concept over a situation, being able to step back and look at it from a bird's eye view, it's meant to help you let go of an argument. And I wonder, Tom, if any of these will help you.
Probably all of them.
So the first one, personally I don't really get it, but it might work for some people, is I'm not scared of confrontation.
Oh, very scared of confrontation. The only thing I'm scared of, to be honest.
But I don't think that would help me let go of an argument.
Yeah.
You know? Like, how does
that would make me fight.
Yeah. That's like, okay,
you're right. I'm not scared of confrontation. Let's go.
Exactly. The second one is I live in the present moment.
Okay. Right, so move on.
Maybe that's like,
move on.
Okay, so this argument happened 2 days ago. I'm still like really upset about it, but actually right now I'm not in that argument. So just being like really self-aware and present, like this isn't affecting me right now, so why am I holding on to it? The third one is I accept what has happened with all of my being.
Oh, cringe.
I knew you would cringe about that one. But also, like, I don't really sometimes you don't want to accept what's happened. What if you're just completely outraged? But then I guess by me even saying that, I've just realised that I'm holding on to something. And sometimes holding on to arguments doesn't help you because it's happened. You know, like how we said with bad days. You don't even care, do you? You're just sat there going, I'm never going to say that. It's too cringe.
All I love is you have completely convinced yourself in about 2 sentences.
This is what always
I don't
happens.
get this one, but I do understand it because of this.
See, maybe affirmations do work because saying things out loud and then you're like, huh? And then you're like, ah. That's exactly what just happened there.
Tom, in 2 noises, can you sum up your podcast? Huh? Ah. It's probably how I would do it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, the fourth one that's very similar is I don't need to be right.
Oh, I do though.
But what if you do?
I want to be right.
And also, the whole reason that we had an argument in the first place is because I think I'm right and I'm very passionate and stubborn about it, and I don't empathise with your situation, so I am right.
That's the point of discussion, is that they lay out their opinion and their point of view, and I lay out mine, and we work it out.
But it's saying I don't need to be right. So
I do need to be right.
But it's allowing for you to be able to understand where they're coming from. Not tell them they're wrong. Neither of you are right or wrong. You just have different opinions.
Are you a counsellor now?
You know, you can hit me up. My sessions are £50 an hour. It's very cheap, right?
That's quite cheap. That's very cheap.
Okay, you won't like this one, Tom. The fifth
It's going to
one.
make me go, oh.
I am grateful that the argument happened.
Okay, yeah.
Shaking your head.
I'm grateful that the argument happened.
See?
Makes me stronger.
That's the worst, when people are like, yeah, I understand you. And at the same time, they're shaking their head like, I understand you.
Absolute nonsense. I think my life would be, like we said the other week on the poll, would you prefer an easier life? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Like 70% said yes. They would not be thankful an argument happened. 70% of people would prefer no arguments to happen.
But
easy life, easy wife.
God's sake. But are also grateful for the experience and to grow as a person. Which is why you don't tick the box of, I wish everything went right in my life, because you wouldn't be able to grow as a person, develop.
I got stabbed in the lung and it burst, and now I'm breathing with a ventilator. But I'm glad it happened. No.
I think it's circumstantial, Tom. Circumstantial.
Disagree.
Okay, and the last one is, my relationship is more important than holding on to one argument.
I agree with that one.
I agree with that one. I think that is
Don't throw it all away over one thing.
There's a reason as to why a lot of people just say sorry in an argument, because it's not worth losing somebody over it.
I think that's why I cave quite quick.
Should I? Don't leave me.
Please! I don't know how easy it is to find a second person.
Oh, for God's sake. But, you know, I might actually try and use some of those affirmations in the future, instead of just pointing the finger and going, you're wrong. Sometimes
would you say it to your boyfriend?
I think so, yeah.
Like, you're having an argument, you go, our relationship is more important than one argument.
Do you know what's the best thing that you can say to somebody is, when they're arguing, just look them dead in the eye and go, I forgive you. so
I've got
triggering.
more arguments.
So triggering, I'm joking.
I'd be livid if my girlfriend, if I'm there going, listen, this is the issue, blah, 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 and she goes, I forgive you. I'm like, absolutely not.
Okay, don't use that one. I was mostly joking.
I don't think you were. I think you use this all the time.
Well, you know, if he's going to say that my stomach dictates the day, then...
And you forgive him. That's generous.
I forgive you for having that boring opinion.
Okay, I don't want to reopen old wounds, Anya, so I think sweep it under the rug.
Okay, we're sweeping under the rug, and we're...
No one argument is worth...
losing a relationship, you're right.
Sounds
so,
right.
Tom,
I
think we should talk about the poll that we put up.
I think we should talk about the poll that we put up.
So, we asked you guys, when you have an argument, would you rather settle it even if you disagree, or hold your ground even if it causes tension? Tom, what did you say?
Settle it.
Settle it.
I think I said the mix of the two of the options there.
You can't say a mix of the two of the options.
I said settle it even if you disagree.
Okay. And to be fair, you did say that earlier. You said that you can't sleep if it's not settled.
No, exactly.
So
I'm gonna ring her up and be like, yo.
You can't sleep until I'm happy.
How dare you fall? She falls asleep so quickly. How dare you fall asleep? I'm angry.
Oh dear. I'm sure that'll probably cause more arguments. Why did you wake me up?
She doesn't wake up. That's the issue.
Oh dear. Stressful times.
But what did you vote for?
I said hold your ground even if it causes tension.
But have you flip-flop like you always do? And you has?
I'm doing a classic. I'm on the fence.
Flip-flop! Two flip-flops!
I'm on the fence. I think I have...
Pick a side.
I've agreed with myself that it depends on the situation. Like, with my boyfriend, I will not be able to sleep without settling an argument. I can't go to bed with an argument not resolved.
Unsettled.
But then I can't say that I will settle it even if I disagree, because there's a massive argument that's just happened recently that's not resolved. So,
right.
You know.
So when you meet up with your boyfriend, so you've had this argument, you meet up with him to resolve it.
Yeah.
Are you still stubborn and still stand your ground even if it means you don't resolve it?
I think sometimes it's kind of like, I forgive you for doing it, but I'm still mad at you for doing it, you know?
Oh,
it's
that's something different.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. But what did the Tune Squatters vote?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, you say.
What did the Tune Squatters vote for?
So the kids.
Disagree.
They voted 64% for
Huge.
settle it, even if you disagree. So a lot of people don't like tension and confrontation. And,
but 64 isn't that much.
No, because 36% of you guys said hold your ground even if it causes tension. So a lot of people out there be passionate / stubborn, but I feel them.
Yeah.
They're
not moving on.
But
They're angry about it. They're angry. I respect it. Keep that hustle up.
Keep the hustle.
Keep it 110.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But yeah, I'd easily settle it. Just ring up and be like, okay, I was an idiot. Are you going to say you're an idiot? No. What do you mean you're not going to say you're an idiot too? I'm angry now. Hang up.
And then
ring up.
Later,
sorry, I shouldn't have called you an idiot. I lost my cool, but in a way we both lost our cool. What do you mean you didn't lose? It's just a never-ending cycle. But if you want to join in with these polls, we put one up every week on our Instagram, which is Anya.
At We Are AudioBox.
It sure is. Go and vote on those polls and get involved with the podcast. Thank you very much, Tune Scholars, for joining us again for another great... I'm sorry, what did you...
And kids.
No.
And kids.
Oh, no. No, the Tune Scholars joined us. Thank you very much, Tune Scholars, for joining us for another great episode this week.
I'm rolling
We'll be back next...
I forgive you.
You can roll whatever you want, but it doesn't change the team.
I forgive you. Continue.
Tune in next week for another episode where we'll be talking about something different. And if you check out that Instagram poll, you'll have an inkling of what we're going to be talking about in the following week. So head over to our Instagram at We Are AudioBox. Go and vote on the polls. Go like our pictures. Come say hi. Drop us a DM. We're always happy to say hi to people. Follow us on Twitter. With the same handle at We Are AudioBox. Get involved with us. See what's going on. See what I'm tweeting out or not tweeting out. See that I'm lacking of tweets. Give me something to tweet out, guys. DM us any ideas that you want us to talk about. Anything in your life that you want us to talk about. We'll happily try. We're not great at things, but we can try and help you adult because I don't know what I'm doing. But we'll be back next week. Thank you, Anya, for joining me.
And thank you, Tom, for joining me.
It's a pleasure.
Bye, kids.
Bye-bye.